You feel it, don't you? That cold admiration you get from someone who never truly sees you. It is not just confidence. It is a deep hunger for worship wearing the mask of charm. Modern psychology calls this narcissistic personality traits. But more than a century ago, Sigmund Freud uncovered the engine behind this hunger. Freud did not study narcissism through social media quotes, but through the raw confessions and breakdowns of his patients. He watched what happens when self-love mutates into something predatory. He saw it become something that uses other people as mirrors. Today, we are going to open that engine and expose it. Welcome to PsychMax. Today, we dive into Freud's most disturbing insights to dissect the narcissistic mind. Here are 5 disturbing narcissism secrets Freud discovered in his patients, and what modern research reveals about them. Secret number 1, narcissism begins in innocence, not in evil. Freud's first shock was this: the roots of narcissism lie in infancy, not adulthood. In his work on narcissism, he described a phase of primary narcissism, where the baby's entire world is itself. Every need is instantly worthy of satisfaction and attention. The infant does not yet recognize separate others. It lives as a tiny monarch with servants who appear on demand. This early self-absorption is not pathologic. It is how the psyche builds a basic sense of self-value and continuity. But here is the dark twist. Freud noticed that some adults regress back to this infant position when life becomes painful, under stress, humiliation, or injury. The mind can retreat into a state where only its own needs matter again, shutting out the reality of other people. The narcissists you meet today may be a grown body clinging to the emotional survival strategy of a desperate child. Secret number 2. The narcissist steals energy from love to feed the self. Freud believed that the mind has a limited amount of emotional energy, which he called libido. This energy can be invested in oneself, which is ego libido, or in other people, which is object libido. It is like a budget that has to be divided between self and others. In his patients, Freud saw that pathological narcissism happened when energy that should flow toward others was pulled back to the self. It is like unplugging power from relationships and rerouting it into a private inner shrine where only the self is worshipped. That is why extreme narcissists often swing between obsession with their image and total indifference to the feelings of others. Modern models of narcissism support this idea. They show narcissists pouring effort into status and admiration rather than mutual connection, using others to regulate their own shaky self-image. When you feel drained around a narcissistic person, it is because their psyche is constantly redirecting emotional power back into itself. Secret number 3. The narcissist's grandiosity hides a secret collapse inside. Freud noticed that behind the arrogant posture of many patients, there was a terrifying fragility. They needed constant praise, yet any criticism shattered them out of proportion to the situation. It was like glass under a hammer. He understood that grandiosity is not pure strength. It is armor built over a deep wound in self-esteem and fear of worthlessness. Modern research confirms this dynamic. Narcissism is now seen as a self-regulatory system, trying to keep a shaky self-image intact through constant self-enhancement and defensiveness. When admiration is high, the narcissist feels invincible. When it drops, they plunge into rage, shame, or despair. They may attack or withdraw to protect the ego. This is why narcissists can seem charming in public and cruel in private. The outer show exists to prevent the inner collapse from being exposed. You are not dealing with pure confidence. You are dealing with an emergency defense system held together by validation. Secret number 4. The narcissist uses people as mirrors, not as partners. In Freud's clinical work, he saw patients who did not truly relate to others as independent minds with their own inner worlds. Instead, they treated others as reflective surfaces whose job was to confirm how special they were. They were human mirrors more than human beings. If a partner admired them, the partner was wonderful. If the partner questioned them, the partner became an enemy or a worthless object to be discarded. Freud wrote that the narcissistic person loves insofar as the other reflects the self, not for who the other really is as a separate subject. Later, theorists and clinicians expanded this idea, showing how narcissistic relationships are often transactional. They are centered on image supply, control, and avoidance of vulnerability rather than mutual growth. Modern studies of narcissistic personality show patterns of exploitation, entitlement, and lack of empathy, especially when self-image feels threatened. So, when you feel invisible next to such a person, it is not your imagination. They are not truly seeing you. They are checking how well you polish their reflection. Secret number 5. Narcissism is a spectrum, and the most dangerous form hides behind normality. Freud's writings opened the door to seeing narcissism everywhere, not just in a rare disorder. He argued that every person needs a certain amount of self-regard just to function. This is what later thinkers call healthy narcissism, a realistic sense of worth and pride. Without some inner pride and self-love, we could not take risks, protect ourselves, or pursue our goals. We would collapse into shame and passivity. Later researchers built on this and showed that narcissism comes in different styles: grandiose, flashy dominance, and vulnerable, hypersensitive defensiveness that looks more like hurt than arrogance. Many people who chronically feel slighted or misunderstood may carry vulnerable narcissistic traits rather than obvious grandiosity. They are constantly scanning for disrespect and rejection. This makes the darkest narcissism harder to spot because it can appear as self-pity, spiritual superiority, or quiet resentment instead of loud arrogance. The danger is not simply that narcissism exists, but that it can hide inside socially acceptable roles: leaders, healers, creators, and even caring partners. Before you call someone else a monster, Freud forces you to ask, how much of this spectrum lives in you as well? You have just walked through 5 disturbing truths about narcissism that Freud uncovered in the consulting room, and that modern science has sharpened. Narcissism starts in innocent self-protection, then mutates when life wounds are never healed. It steals energy from real love to fund an inner idol, hides a fragile self behind grandiosity, uses people as mirrors, and spreads along a spectrum that reaches into normal life. Do not just memorize these ideas. Use them. Ask, where are you giving your energy to someone who only wants a mirror? Ask where your own hunger for validation might be covering a wound that actually needs honesty, not applause. If you want more ruthless breakdowns of the human mind, subscribe to Psych Max and tell me in the comments which dark topic or thinker you want dissected next. And if you're ready to go deeper into shadow work and relationship patterns, imagine having daily prompts, exercises, and guided tools to expose your own unconscious scripts. Take your shadow work to the next level by downloading the Psych Max app today for deeper mental mastery and exclusive tools to help you understand and transform the narcissistic dynamics in your life.